What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G. Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network, as well as on the USA Network, because today we're talking the Season 1 finale, finally, of Miz and Mrs. as it aired on the USA Network after SmackDown on Tuesday. So, by my count, this is like the third season finale they've done. I thought the original last episode of the season was like a year ago when they first started airing the show, and they wrapped it up in the fall. Then they brought it back this past spring and they wrapped it up in June, and I thought that was the season finale. This felt like a fitting season finale to this show after 20 episodes. They wrapped up season 1 on a great note. The other season finales, quote unquote, they weren't really proper conclusions to the season. They kind of left off on like weird, anticlimactic notes. This one really felt like a true season finale, and you'll find out why in a second. The episode was called It Couple in L.A., and Miz talks about to kick off the episode that life has been quieter for Maurice, or Maurice says actually that life has been quieter for her and Miz since they moved to Austin, Texas about a year ago, earlier on in the year, whatever. I believe this still takes place early, like in late 2018, and they only moved to Austin, I think, right after or before they had the baby in early 2018, so it really has not been a full year yet by this point. And Maurice thinks they're just bored. They really have nothing to do, and, she's being a mom and whatever, but there's really just not much to do in Austin, Texas. And Miz, in the meantime, takes a puzzle piece from Maurice, and she tries to find it, and she gets frustrated when she can't, only to find out that Miz has had it the entire time. Miz admits that he misses L.A., but I think he thinks that Maurice doesn't miss L.A., but he wants to make her miss L.A., even though she already does, if that makes any sense at all. He actually admits at the beginning of the episode that moving to Austin was a mistake, which is just asinine to me, because they've been in Austin now, again, for less than a year, and they moved to L.A. from L.A. for a reason. But apparently it wasn't enough, and now they want to go back. Maurice gets really frustrated while they're, I think, back in L.A. They're at SmackDown there, I think. And she loses her luggage. While there, Miz rents a Ferrari, again, to make Maurice miss L.A., and Maurice even admits to the cameras that she misses a life in L.A., but I don't think Miz sees it that way. He wants to convince her that life in L.A. is great. So at least they both want the same thing, which is good. And she admits that being back there makes her feel homesick because they lived there for so long. So she calls about her bags to the airport while at SmackDown. And she has to have her reference number or something like that, and they don't get back to her, they can't help her, whatever. She comes to find out that Marjo actually has her luggage, but I think it's all the way back home. So Marjo got her luggage. She needs her luggage, and now she's going to be wearing the same outfit every day while in LA for these few days. Miz, to kind of lighten the mood, takes her shopping. While there, Maurice buys this this jumpsuit, I guess you would call it. But after buying it, they sit down in the Ferrari, and it rips right at the butt. There's a hole, that sounds disgusting, but it rips right in the bottom half, and the jumpsuit's tight, so they have to go return it. And she doesn't want to walk back in the store with this hole in her pants, but Miz covers it, and they make it out to be a bigger deal than it actually is, but it's pretty funny. They go back in the store, they return it, they get a refund, whatever, get a new dress, whatever. Come out to the car, only to find out the car isn't there anymore. It got towed. So it's a day out of hell here. It's a fucking nightmare for these two to be back in LA, despite the fact they miss it a lot. And Maurice says that she feels more like herself while in Los Angeles, which is why she wants to move back there. So after their car got towed, Maurice's friend Amanda picks them up. They go out to eat to the same place where Maurice bought that truffle dish while she was pregnant. That was hundreds of dollars. Maybe it wasn't the same dish. But she bought some sort of meal while there that was hundreds of dollars. Their bill was $900, which is fucking unbelievable for two people. But she loves the truffle dish, and she gets that, and she loves it. And Mrs. is oh, my plan's working perfectly. So anyway, before they leave LA, they go to spy on their old house like creeps, and they go to the front gate, and Maurice gets her dress caught on the gate, and the owners end up seeing her and Miz by the front gate, and it's a really awkward moment where they're haha, we used to live here, we're just checking out the place, whatever. And the owners, I guess, are kind of cool with it, and then they invite Miz and Maurice to check out their old house, which was kind of weird of them to do, but whatever. After looking around the house, seeing what they did with it, and, Maurice was joking, oh, how much money would it take for you to, sell back the house, whatever. They say, or Maurice says, I really want to move back to Los Angeles. Miz says the same thing, so they agree that they both want to move back to LA. So as soon as they go back to Austin, they put the house up for sale. They tell Marjo, they tell Miz's mom, and I'm not exactly sure what the relationship is there, if they live with them or if they just come to visit. I feel like they live there. But anyway, they're really happy to hear about it. And then before they leave, they go back to the restaurant where Miz wanted to congratulate Maurice and beat her to the chase where he thought she was pregnant, even though she wasn't, and then like the mariachi band came out. It was a really funny episode from a while ago. So they go back to that restaurant, sit at the same table, and that's when Maurice reveals that she's pregnant and that she's having a second baby. And this time it's not, it's not misinformation. It actually happened. And she tells it to him in French the same way that he found out the first time that she was pregnant, even though she wasn't. And that's how he kind of, misinterpreted it. He misinterpreted what she said. And this time, that's not the case. And she is indeed pregnant, and Miz could not be happier. And they bring out the mariachi band, and it's a great way to close out episode 20, the season 1 finale, with Maurice celebrating the fact that she's pregnant, and they're all moving back to LA in time for season 2 in 2020. Or at least that's when the show airs. They probably already are back in LA at this point. But because I think it came out in the news just recently that Miz and Maurice bought a house in LA. So that's probably going to be covered in season 2 coming next year. And I think I might be on an episode because I saw them filming for the show while at WrestleMania Access earlier this year. I didn't go meet Miz, but I was by the side. I actually met Marjo and George Mazan and Miz's dad while at WrestleMania Access, which is kind of funny. But anyway, this was a good episode. I like this a lot. They talk about going back to LA, Maurice being pregnant, a lot of great news, good feel-good episode, very enjoyable as always. Be sure to check it out on the USA Network. I will miss covering the show for the time being, though. I won't be back for a while, though I will get back to my Total Divas reviews as those start airing on Wednesday nights now after NXT and AEW at 10 p.m. Eastern Time starting October 2nd, the same night as AEW on TNT. So we'll get back to reviewing that show for the first time in maybe a year. It's been a while since the last season of Total Divas aired. But it's going to be featuring Ronda Rousey, Sonya Deville, Carmella, Naomi, the Bella Twins, and Natalya, and a few others. So it should be a good season. But that's coming back in October. I'll cover that in about a month. And that's about it. In the meantime, I'll be covering all the network stuff and everything else airing on the WWE Network and really anything else I feel like. And obviously, straight up Steve Austin on the USA Network, and I think that wraps up in a few weeks as well. So anyway, guys, thank you for checking out this episode and this review of Miz and Mrs. for WWE Network and Chill. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And we'll be back in a couple days with an all-new Network and Chill. Until then, guys, have a great one. I'm Graham G. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.